Preparations for the Christmas celebrations of the Coptic Church were subdued in Alexandria this year. Since the suicide attack outside a Coptic church shortly after New Year's Eve, the Christian community has been gripped by grief and fear. The facade of the church is more or less scrubbed clean, but the consequences of the attack are not so easy to erase. Inside, survivors mourn for the dead. In the hallway sits a car that was damaged by the bomb. The cleaners have yet to begin on the mosque opposite the church. This was the night of the attack. A few minutes into the new year, a suicide bomb exploded at the entrance to the Coptic church. With the service coming to an end, many churchgoers were outside. 21 people died on the scene, more later on. There were dozens wounded. Michael! 17-year-old Besoi Meghdi was in the church when the bomb exploded. It was 20 minutes past 12 when it happened. I was standing at the altar behind the curtain. I suddenly felt an explosion, a very big one. There was a loud bang. I was pushed forward and backwards. I came out from behind the curtain and tried to get outside. I found one of my friends injured. He held his hands up and started fainting. Blood came from his head and from his hand, a lot of blood. He began to collapse. I caught him and got him onto a chair. I tried to wipe away the blood, but he carried on bleeding. Besoi fears that the bombing may be the catalyst for further violence. He knew all the victims of the attack and is deeply in mourning. Yesterday, I bought new clothes for Christmas. A black suit, black shoes, black tie. There is no Christmas. We have removed the Christmas tree. This is the beginning of the new year. There is no joy in our festival this year. Besoi escaped unharmed. In the Coptic hospital just behind the church lie the injured. They will not allow cameras inside, only allow filming on a mobile phone.
What condition is this patient?
This patient have sleep problems. The first problem is burn in his face and some other parts in his body. He has a small part of the bomb inside his intestine.
Is his situation, is it representative for other people who got hit by the attack?
Yes. Other people have, many people have small scrambles, foreign bodies in his body.
Bombs do not discriminate. Children were also hit. This 4-year-old girl, her mother, and her 12-year-old sister were all seriously burned and sustained fractures. They are just 3 of nearly 100 wounded.
I'm angry to see children killed. We know people who have children in the hospital yet, injured. Their faces are burnt. Of course, we have to be angry at the evil that has perpetrated this.
The number of attacks on the Christian minority in Egypt has increased over the last few years. Yet Christians are staying calm and remain in conversation with Muslims, says Anglican priest Emdy Amzy. But according to this cleric, that is increasingly dependent on the government taking a hard line when dealing with hate preachers.
When their religious leader tells them, do not greet Christians, do not shake their hands, they are unbelievers, they are enemies. And in fact, there was a very reputable man who said recently that Christians might have weapons in their churches. And my Muslim friends were shocked because he knows very well there is no way that Christians use weapons or accumulate weapons. And yet this impacted people. This was just a few months ago or a few weeks ago. And some people are saying that that speech may have had something to do with the tension that we're experiencing now.
The question now is whether the divide between Christians and Muslims in Egypt can still be bridged. Fakhry Tardos' family are devastated by grief. Their only son was killed in the attack. He had a company for imports and exports. His son's fiancée Amira was seriously injured in the blast. It is uncertain whether she will survive her injuries. When I went to the morgue, I asked them if they had Mina. They said yes, he's here. There was blood on the floor. The whole floor was covered with blood. Someone asked me, is this his ID and driving license? I said yes. Both had been pierced and burned. Fakhry Tardos is angry that the perpetrators of the attack must have had help from his compatriots. Yet he also has many friends who are Muslims and who are now mourning with him. In any case, he doesn't want to hate. I love them all. I love all Muslims. There is no hatred between us. We hate nobody. Our hate teaches us to love everyone. Even though they have wronged us, I ask God to forgive them.